But it's warm in here and we are underway. Tanner Krebs will kick things off for the Bullets. They're going to work through Kadee. DJ Mitchell, son of a legend in Mike Mitchell, lines one up, can't hit. Harry Froling gets sent away, but the basket will count. Goaltending from Hook Porty.
Good energy from Harry Froling, and I've been speaking to him a lot over his NBL1 campaign with the Chargers. And he's saying that he's playing some really good basketball, feeling really confident with himself, and he thinks he's going to get an increased opportunity this year. And hopefully we get to see a really consistent Harry Froling.
Oh, extended pressure from the Brisbane Bullets. James Duncan wants them to pick up their defense this season. Here's Cody Statman guarding Chris Golding. And he's called for the personal, but excited to watch this young man in the NBL this season, having graduated from the University of Virginia.
Well, that supporting cast for the Bullets is going to be really important. We're going to talk about this all season long because you're going to have Baines, who's going to, obviously, once he figures out the league, you'd expect to dominate. Sobey's going to do his thing. As we see with the ball now, just Golding, doesn't need much time at all. But other than that, the supporting cast is going to be a foul on Harry Froling. It's going to be so important. Sobey, you think Tyler Johnson, once he finds his feet, is going to be a bit of a problem. Who else is going to be able to step up and come along for the ride?
We're going to get a good, strong look at a lot of those guys tonight with, as you say, their big three, Baines, Sobey, and Johnson not playing. Jeez, Rajan Tucker was available above the rim. Golding slides his way down the paint, can't hit, and the Bullets will take it away. Here's Kadee. Krebs in great form after a strong NBL1 North championship winning season. Ball moving nicely for the Bullets, and Jason Kadee, and one finish off the glass.
Look, you're right, great ball movement from the Bullets, and that's exactly what a game like this is going to be without key guys. Get the ball through hands, everybody's kind of got a bit more of a green light. But I tell you what, you're right, Kadee, Krebs, and Harry Froling, we know how good they've been in their respective NBL1 campaigns. But both those teams suiting up in the national final of NBL1 without these guys. So that really hurts their local teams, but they're here, and luckily they're here, because if they weren't here, there might not have been a game tonight.
Yeah, they're short on bodies, the Bullets, no doubt about it. Here's Golding. Finds Ratan Mays, back to Golding up high. Hook Porty trying to seal up down low, can't get it. Tucker attacking off the bounce. Great find, and Hook Porty finishes.
He's a fun that Rajan Tucker is happening out there. Super strong. He's not just an athlete getting up on floors. He gets absolutely laid out on a screen. Tanner Krebs lets one fly. That's good from Tanner Krebs.
He's in for a big season, I think, Tanner Krebs.
That's the supporting cast that we're going to be talking about.
He's going to be big for him off the bench, and a pivotal season in his career. Steele, here he is on the breakaway, and finishes with authority.
Pretty worse to say to the Ballarat locals in the front row. I'm not sure if 2 minutes into this one they were ready for that.
He's up and about early, Tanner Krebs, as are the Bullets. 9-2 start. Here's Hook Porty down low. He'll get himself to the free throw line, and Rajan Tucker's causing some issues off the bounce right now.
That's going to be the key for anyone trying to defend Rajan Tucker, because he's got such a quick first step. He's got a really quick signature spin as well, but it's the strength. Once he cops the bump, we saw it before, a little dish to Hook Porty. He got bumped a couple of times. Devondrick Walker checking in for the Bullets. What a story this is. Yeah, but we know him. He's been around the NBL and a couple of import opportunities, but then decided to stay in Australia, went out west, NBL1 West for the Rockingham Flames, backed himself, absolutely dominated.
Tore it up.
Absolutely tore it up, and has been rewarded with that opportunity with the Bullets.
It'll be fun for Bullets fans watching tonight to get a good look at Devondrick Walker, the final piece to the Brisbane puzzle. Just the two imports this season, Baines and Sobey, taking up marquee player spots. And here is Walker catching and splashing with his first touch as a Bullet.
That's what he can do, and that's why I think he's actually a really good signing for them, because eyes are going to be on Sobey, Baines, Tyler Johnson. He can just be a super efficient knockdown shooter at minimum. He's going to be super vital for him.
Ratan Mays snaking into the lane. Tucker bouncy and kisses it in off the glass.
You see his activity when he hasn't got the ball. He is super bouncy, and he's just on his toes, ready to explode at any moment.
Here's Froling. Ball continues to pop around the perimeter for the Bullets. Kadee lines it up, can't hit. The putback's no good for Mitchell, and he'll pick up the personal. Tucker skying for the defensive board, and he's up and about.
First personal foul, number 88, DJ Mitchell.
Oh, he's in for a big season, you think, Ray John Tucker, and he comes in highly touted. I know you were super high on him once it got announced. The Hook Porty's one that I'm really going to look forward to watching this year. Didn't declare for the draft, chose to come back, part of the Next Stars program. In that St. Mary's game, there's Tucker on the back door.
And the basket, Bullets,
I think Ray John Tucker has so far had more flexes than field goal attempts, and we're only 3.5 minutes into this one.
He's looking to make plays with and without the ball, no doubt about it. Here's Devondrick Walker. Caroline dives on the floor, but called for the personal.
Caroline looks like one of those glue guys who's going to do everything well, throw his body around. He's the one who's come in to essentially replace Jack White, which is not easy to do. And they already look like they're up and in on the defensive end, trying to set a tone. And maybe we'll talk about this at halftime. It's a good pass from Kadee.
Really nice pass. Finds Walker. Cutting back door. Well executed out of bounds play for Brisbane.
Exactly.
And they take a 14-8 lead.
It's a great execution. Good screening. They're hitting bodies on the screens, which you're going to have to do with how physical United's playing on the defensive end. You might have a bit more info we'll chat about at half-time in terms of great defensive teams. The Breakers all of a sudden apparently are stepping things up on the defensive end.
Oh my, there were some people who watched that scrimmage today in New Zealand. Here's Devondrick Walker, finishes in transition. Bullets continue to tick along. They're double Melbourne score right now in the early going. Yeah, a lot of good words coming out of New Zealand about how the Breakers performed behind closed doors today. And one finish. Jordan Caroline, strong underneath.
Well, that just might be the epitome of the season for Melbourne United, is strong. The physicality that all their imports will play with. Matan Mays at the point, Caroline and Ray John Tucker. Combine that with Hook Porty and when Isaac Humphries checks into the game, and then you've got Chris Golding who will do Chris Golding things. It's a pretty good recipe. So you get it to click.
Coaches just bringing the changes here. Chance to look at some fresh faces. Matt Johns and Gorjak Gak checking in for the Bullets into the front line. And Lachlan Barker played minutes for South East Melbourne Phoenix last season, and from Frankston NBL1, he's out there for Melbourne United trying to earn a contract. Melbourne still one fully contracted roster spot to fill.
In that St. Mary's game, played in the point guard spot. That's what they're looking for in that last spot from what I've heard. So, different role than he's used to playing. Likes to play off the ball. Devondrick Walker has taken 2 threes and has not hit the rim on either.
He has 10 early points. Devondrick Walker knocking down triples, getting to the rim, and ticking the scoreboard over. What a start in a Bullets uniform it's been for the recent signee. Here's Golding wheeling and dealing and turning it over. The Bullets will take it back.
No, it's pre-season really. As we know, the Blitz starts next week in Darwin, which will be exciting. Time out here from Melbourne United, but Sam McKinnon, James Duncan, and you just see this little start from Devondrick Walker. This is what makes you think this is exactly what we need. Exactly the kind of piece we've got him for. I know it's very early, so you can't look into it too much. Just feels nice.
I tell you, they'll be feeling very good about things right now, the Bullets fans, watching on from home in southeast Queensland, just seeing this start from Walker. Checks in off the bench, goes whackety-whack from outside, and he's in an aggressive mindset. First guy in the double figures. Their team's out to an 8-point lead in the early going without 3 of their main guys out there on the floor.
Well, they have looked really sharp so far. The Brisbane Bullets. No doubt about that. And the man who's not here, we'll give a little shout out to, is Smirch, the key figurehead behind the bench of Melbourne United, who's watching this one at home. Everyone's thinking of him, hoping he's doing well. Hopefully getting back to as many games as possible. The glue doesn't just happen on the floor for any of these teams in the NBL. So much behind the scenes, all the hard work. So,
no doubt about it. Speaking of behind the scenes, people that were in charge of the uniform designs, enjoying what teams are rolling out. From Melbourne United, they're wearing the club's NBL23 home uniform for the first time tonight. This season, United will bring the blue jerseys drop in the Melbourne United online store at 10 a.m. this Wednesday. September 14, head to shop.melbourneutd.com.au and get kitted out as we're back underway. 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Rasmus Bach, recently signed, nominated replacement player, can't hit there. His first shot as a Brisbane Bullet.
Isaac Humphries into the game, Brad Newley as well.
Well, this is going to be fun. Getting a good look at Isaac Humphries. What a difference maker he could potentially be this season. Barker can't hit there, and the Bullets take it away through Gack. Good outlet pass. The wild thing.
There's Tucker with the activity on the defensive end. Isaac Humphries, a bit of a risk and reward situation, isn't it? We know he's coming off some key injuries in the last really 18 months, but before that, you remember the way he started at Adelaide with Josh Giddey.
Oh my.
After the first 10 or so rounds, he was up there in the MVP, best defensive player.
Walker for 3 off the front of the rim, and Newley tracks it down. Agent Tucker takes the handoff, wheeling and dealing, getting into the lane, draws the contact, and can't quite get the roll, but he is looking to make plays every time down the floor. Fun to watch Agent Tucker.
Well, he is. And it's just the physicality. He can take the bumps, he can rise up and knock it down. We haven't seen that yet. It's still a big question mark. He's obviously his outside shooting. But he is doing everything that he's been lived up to be so far. Jordan Caroline checks out, and in comes Dave Ballarat.
Now, did that man retire?
I had a good chat to him, Dave Ballarat. The first thing I said is, talk to me about, I never thought it was going to happen, the decision to actually finally hang up the boots. And his words were, I'm not hanging up the boots. I was like, have you retired? He said, yes, but I'm not hanging up the boots.
Okay.
So he's going to potentially run around, and I'm not sure whether that means that if something happens injury-wise or whatever, that he's like, I'm here, I'm staying in shape, I train every now and then.
All right, that's reasonably cryptic, but it's not unheard of. We saw that with Tim Conrad in Illawarra a couple of seasons ago.
Well, let's be honest, retiring doesn't mean a whole lot anymore when you've got a 41-year-old GOAT coming back, suiting up at the World Cup.
True. McQuatch Malawatch checks in for Melbourne United as well. So they got a full bench unit on the floor, including the recently retired 5-time champion in Barlow. Devondre Walker lets it fly again. Front rim for a second possession in a row. And Melbourne take it away, and they're cutting back into this margin. 6-point lead to Brisbane. Newley to the rim, make it 4 the difference.
I mean, that's what Brad Newley does. Bread and butter. Corner threes and attacking the hoop in transition, but just turns the corner there. He's made a living off that.
Stolen. Malawatch in transition. Loses the handle. Kicks it out to Barker. A little hesitation step. He's at the rim, but he can't finish. Humphries. Strong offensive rebound, and he earns a trip to the free throw line.
So far you see Melbourne United, I know they've given up 19 points to the Bullets, but their activity on the defensive end. Everyone's in the lanes. They're constantly moving, trying to help each other, just trying to really clog things up and using their physicality, trying to set a tone. I think Vickman is notorious for getting teams locked in on the defensive end, and that's what has come with the success for so long. But looks like they've got plenty of cattle to figure that out and become one of the strongest defensive teams once again.
So timeout called, 4-point lead to Brisbane, 3:13 remaining in this opening quarter, and it gives us a chance, Fools, to talk about the big man on campus in the NBL this season, Aaron Baines. Not playing tonight, bit of a disappointment. We were hoping to see him, but Brisbane fans rightfully feeling very excited about having the big banger in uniform this season.
Well, so they should. I mean, it's an incredible story, obviously, for Aaron Baines, but it's another testament to the NBL that he wants to get back to the NBA. That's where he belongs. And he said, I'm trusting the NBL is going to do that. It's shown over the history that it can well and truly get players who are new a chance, like Jack White. And then it gives players like Delhi and hopefully Aaron Baines another opportunity to get back to it. And I can't wait to see him out there. I mean, on one hand, I'm a bit petrified for the terror screens that are coming for the smaller guards in the NBL. But his ability to pick and pop at a high rate, his strength is going to be hard to be matched probably anywhere. One-on-one wise, it's going to be hard to match. But just considering coming off a ball screen and having the hedge or show of the big fella, it's going to give a lot of confidence to guys like Nathan Sobey, Tyler Johnson on the defensive end to be able to crawl up and in knowing you've got someone to save your backside.
Oh, it's going to be a massive problem for teams to solve, both ends of the floor. No doubt about it. You don't want to be switching on those ball screens. You're going to be in all kinds of trouble underneath. And if he's watching on tonight as his teammates go to work, shout out to him. Great to have you in the league this season, Bainesy. We're back underway. Humphreys 1 for 2 from the stripe. And Melbourne get this takeaway. Here comes Malawatch. Probing in transition. Lachlan Barker. Pick and pop with Barlow. Newley gets it. He's on the attack. Good defense there from Tanner Krebs. Newley can't finish. Here come the Bullets through Bach. They go down low to Gorjak Gak. Debut season in the NBL. Gak gets it back, and he can't finish. Barlow whacks it out of bounds.
And you're already seeing a little bit Dave Barlow checking into the game. He's playing like an assistant coach, getting everybody set up on the offensive end, talking on the defensive end, being that leader, but not doing a whole lot in terms of trying to shoot the ball, rather get everybody involved in the right spots, which they really weren't in that game against St. Mary's. I mean, they'd only practiced for a day or so beforehand, missing all their key guys, but they're all over the shop offensively.
Here's Ding, wheeling and dealing, can't finish off the glass. Newley grabs the board. Return Mays now. Gets on that right hand, step back. Barlow off the rim. Here comes Tanner Krebs. Oh, right to the rim. Malawatch sends it away.
Well, he's beaten there, but just got back to it. And Isaac Humphrey's going to be an offensive foul, just shoving Matt Johns into the front row. Good body check from Matt Johns.
He got beaten off the bounce, Malawatch, but the second effort was beautiful to watch.
Well, it's probably, if people have forgotten by now, you shouldn't have, but probably top two, it's going to be hard to be beaten, but there was some other massive dunks in the NBL 1 early on in the season for the Salties.
Monstrous.
Took off from nearly the free throw line. Another one who's just really excited for his opportunity. He wants to work hard. And if you put him on an athletic lineup like Melbourne United can put out there, then highlights are sure to come.
I was wondering how long it would take you to mention the Darwin Salties. Number 1 ticket holder, Pete Hawley. Give him a shout out.
Probably close. I'll have to ask him next week when I get up there.
Here's Tanner Krebs. Kicks it out. Johns from the corner. Can't hit. Froling with the offensive board. Banging down low with Humphreys. And one finish. Harry Froling with the touch.
It's a great finish, but I guess the most impressive thing so far in this first quarter for Harry Froling is his effort on the offensive glass. That's something that James Duncan is just going to love so far this season. We know he's bounced around the last couple of years, but that's probably been one of the question marks with him getting on the floor is just those other little 1%ers. The efforts on the glass, on the defensive end. We know he can pick and pop. He can knock down the three. We know he can knock it down a little fadeaway there back to the basket. But it's those little efforts there that I believe are going to get him those more minutes to really grow into a role that can be hugely beneficial for the Bullets.
Took over a minute to play. Oh, that was nice from Matan Mays, spinning on the perimeter, and he draws the foul. And he'll go to the free throw line. Bullets in the bonus.
Now, when United signed Matan Mays, what was a few different thoughts around Twitterverse about how he'll fit into this roster for Melbourne United, and knowing Dean Vickerman will switch it up a lot, but I think he's most likely coming off the bench. I think that's where they needed last year, some offense, consistent offense off the bench. But it's also not surprising he had that massive game against Melbourne United last season.
It happens so often.
And Dean Vickerman back in the locker room after that would have been thinking, well, that's a conversation we're going to have in the off-season.
Yeah. Comes up short at the stripe there. Bullets lead by 6. He's up and in on Rasmus Butt. Ratan Mays picks up the foul, and ill-advised in the end because they're over the limit. Buck will go to the stripe. And you mentioned the play of Harry Froling, the activity from him early. One of the highlights of this first quarter, of course, Devondrick Walker and his quick 10 points off the bench. But for me, the story of this first quarter has been Dave Barlow, the audacity of a man to retire. And then a couple of days later, check in during a pre-season game in the first quarter is pretty remarkable. And I'm here for it.
Oh, I'm here for it too. And it's a nice thing for Team Vickerman to have because, as we said, we saw him shoot that 3-ball before, but he's just going to be a leader. He's going to get guys in the right spots, try and get them to feel more comfortable within the system without trying to force his own at all.
That's what he's doing right here. Ball handling responsibilities, gets them into their action. Fade away from Golding, comes up short. And Melbourne will get it back. 7 seconds on the shot clock. See what they can execute out of bounds.
There's no Mason Peatling either. So that's the one who's going to be playing in those backup minutes. But saw it a bit last year with the Hook Porty, Caroline. Maybe we get potentially in a certain matchup, Hook Porty and Humphreys on the floor together. It'd be very rare, but Vickerman's been known to throw out two big fellas.
What's the state of play with Mason Peatling?
Had something cleaned out from when I was talking to him at St. Mary's, so it was more of a just slowly getting back to it, not rushing anything at this point in the season.
As I mentioned, Shea Ely and David Acquia off the top, but you're right, Mason Peatling, a key piece for Melbourne. 4-3 on the shot clock. Rattan Mays, that comes up short. The legs weren't quite there for XRM and the Bullets. 2-for-1 opportunity.
Oh my.
Dave Barlow says no, sir. Sends Krebs away, and Malawach explores in transition. Golding raises the eyebrows, plays with it. He's going to use the entire shot clock here. No, he's not. Lets it fly off the rim. Last possession of the opening term here for Brisbane.
Is there anyone who goes more pre-season mode than Chris Golding? I'm not sure if there is. But here we go. Can the Bullets had a really strong first quarter.
Clock winding down. Froling on Bullett. Beautiful pass, Harry Froling. Sets up Bark at the rim, and the Bullets finish the opening term in style. 10-point lead to Brisbane. 26-16 after 10 here in Ballarat.
Exceptional first quarter from the Bullets, but you could see the physicality Melbourne was throwing defensively. And what it meant for the Bullets is they were running through offense, they were making longer possessions, they were cutting, they were never standing still, which led to those backdoors, the overplays, getting around curl screens and getting those easy layups. So that's a big effort for them. James Duncan will be thrilled with how they're executing on the offensive end.
The leading scorer after one is Devondrick Walker. 10 points, 4 of 6 from the field. Came in and just got to work, knocking down triples, and a really strong first quarter there from Harry Froling. 5 points, 3 boards, and that beautiful pass right there to set up Buck at the rim. As Bullets shooting 47% from the field, knocked down 3 of 8 from long range, and just a really solid defensive performance as well. Forcing contested jumpers late in the shot clock and cleaning up the mess.
What's a blessing in disguise at some points, not having those 3 key pieces which run a lot of offense around them. It's an equal opportunity thing right now for the Bullets. Devondrick Walker's probably an exception to that, and we saw that when him come first touch, first shot, nothing but net. So they're in a bit of a unique opportunity with you got 40 minutes here where everyone will get a chance to shoot the ball. Let's get through offense, let's play in a system. And we talk about on the other side of Melbourne United is they have to try and get some role clarity. It starts in pre-season. That's what it's all about. Dean Vickerman figure out what lineups do I like the look of against the opposition. Because you can practice against each other, you can have different lineups, but whatever lineups you're using in practice, you're playing against the team that knows exactly where you're going, what you're doing. So this is a chance for him to see what lineups he likes out there.
Well, while Dean Vickerman's trying to figure out his lineups, parents around the country are trying to figure out what they're going to do with their kids during the upcoming school holidays. Pete, you wouldn't know anything about this just yet, but it lies in your future. Melbourne United holiday camp's now open for the September holidays. The one-day junior camp in Ballarat, right here, will be held on Wednesday the 28th here at Selkirk Stadium. All participants will receive a T-shirt, a goodie bag, and some unforgettable memories. Head to Melbourne UTD, melbourneunited.com.au to register and get amongst the fun.
Well, they've been doing that all week, and the camps have been a really good turnout. Every NBL team does that so well, getting out to the community. They came up like game time, getting out there and playing against their schools. And the camps are great too, learn from the best.
So it's Rattan Mays, Barlow, Golding, Hook Porty, and Rajan Tucker. Starting the second quarter for Melbourne United, Kadee, Mitchell, Froling, Statman, and Devondrick Walker out there for Brisbane. Second quarter underway. Brisbane with that 10-point lead. Barlow catch and shoot from long range off the rim. And Statman, strong work on the glass, but Froling called for the personal, grabbing Hook Porty's jersey.
Second personal foul, number 87, Harry Froling.
Good activity there. That's better scouted. There's that last baseline out of bounds that Tucker came off that same play.
There's the alley-oop play. Melbourne like to run off the baseline. Couldn't find Hook Porty above the rim. Got him in the block, but he couldn't finish.
I like they've thrown it to him back to the basket a little bit just to work on that one-on-one game. We know he's a terrific athlete and such a high work rate.
Smart play from Kadee. Getting top blocked on that action. Turned himself into a screener, and Froling takes advantage. He's got 7 now, Froling, and the Bullets back out by 10. Here's Kadee. Fresh off an NBL1 North Grand Final MVP performance. Statman spinning, winning on his way to the bucket, and he'll go to the stripe for the bonus.
That's tough. Off the contact from Chris Golding. He's to stay balanced enough to finish that through the contact. Brisbane Bullets just keep finding ways to tick the scoreboard over. You're right, Jason Kadee had a massive game in that Grand Final series, massive series, but just put it to bed early. Another one who's playing some really good basketball.
Statman, mentioned out of University of Virginia, played for the Cairns Marlins over the course of the off-season and getting ready for his rookie pro season. Tucker can't finish over Walker, and here is Walker in transition. Gets it back. Wants the isolation play, Devondrick Walker. Guarded by Hook Porty. Kicks to Mitchell, lines it up. Bang! DJ Mitchell with the catch and splash triple. Timeout, Melbourne United.
Well, Mitchell had his feet set, ready to go. He knew that ball was coming from Walker, who had the mismatch with Hook Porty out there. Tried to get a little bit of space to get the three away. Couldn't do it, but Mitchell was ready to tee off. And you mentioned Aaron Baines, who was watching this, how excited we are. I mentioned him off the top. But Nathan Sobey, cannot wait to see a healthy Nathan Sobey back on the floor. Yes, alongside Aaron Baines is going to be spectacular to watch, but he only played 12 games last season, hampered with injury. When he's up and about and running, one of the best players in the competition, seems Brisbane get up and about.
Mate, if that team can stay healthy, I mean, if Sobes can get right, if Bainesy can stay out on the floor, if Tyler Johnson stays healthy, he's had some issues with some knee problems over the last few years in his career. If they can be out there on the floor, this is a team that's going to get some things done this season.
No doubt about it. This is why, selfishly, I wanted to see Baines play tonight, but more so is, I think the refs probably wanted him to play tonight as well, because it's going to be a big question mark. We know his strength, and you know, in years past, that letting some of the new big men come into the league, ever since Bo's trying to, what they can and can't get away with in terms of physicality, well, they don't come much more physical than Aaron Baines.
Well, there's some big boys around this league this season. Baines, of course, the biggest. Alan Williams for the Phoenix was dealing with some foul trouble in their last hit out down in Tasmania. They're playing right now down in Tassie.
Look pretty good too, the big source.
It's been an 8-zip start to the Bullets for this second quarter. 90 seconds, they put 8 points on the board, and Dean Vickerman had a good long chat about it in that huddle. What kind of response can he get from his group? It's Barlow, the assistant coach, still out there getting a whole bunch of run in this first half. Tucker turns it over. No, that Melbourne get it back. Only 7 on the shot clock now. Ratan Mays isolated. 1 foot. Jimmy is down. That's butter from XRM.
Well, that's what he does. If you looked at any of his off-season workouts, he's getting all those little one-legged runners, working out with Josh Giddey, Dyson Daniels. He can get off his shot at will.
Into those Jordan Lawley workouts in Southern California. Turnover from Kadee. Here's Golding. Heads on a swivel. Fires Ratan Mays. Flat. Look from range. Off the front of the rim. Melbourne get it back. Tucker. Good D from the Bullets. And the ball finds back to Tucker. Mitchell moves his feet, but he stiff arms Tucker in the middle of the lane. And Melbourne's bouncy import gets back to the free throw line.
So far hasn't looked to shoot at all outside the key, but you just see that he cops the bump, and as soon as the physicality, as soon as someone hits him, just slows right down, takes another step or two, uses his physicality to push off legally, and has gone to the free throw line a few times now.
This one's good.
He's going to be exciting to watch this season. 39 games of NBA experience, spent time with the Bucks, 2022 playoffs. He's the all-time leading scorer for the Wisconsin Herd G League team. Was part of that Herd team with Chase Buford and Jalen Adams and the like. Melbourne get it back. Here's Golding. Euro steps down the lane. Can't finish, and they get it back again. The activity on the glass is there for Melbourne. Barlow, and shot clock expires in the background.
That's great activity from Tucker. Just diving into the crowd. Shot clock went off, but I think you and I both and a couple of other people had him in the All-NBL pre-season predictions, which is way too early, and we always struggle to get anywhere near.
That'll be a mess when all is said and done, those predictions, but he's going to be nice. He's going to be very, very fun to watch. Kadee can't hit, and here comes Tucker. Rips it off the rim. Pushes. And Melbourne just slow it down a touch. They got Rattan Mays back to the basket on Kadee. Gets him in the air, steps through. Tucker lets one fly, and that was way off. But Devondrick Walker a little overzealous on the contest, and Tucker's going to go to the stripe for three.
First time I've seen him take a three, and Devondrick Walker just a bit overzealous on the closeout. Cleaned him up. I'm going to go to the free throw line. But comes with that pedigree of, as you mentioned, that team, Jalen Adams. Now, the last time we had the Wisconsin Herd Milwaukee Buck connection come in for the debut season, walked away with a championship trophy and an MVP trophy.
Well, Tucker's not the only guy from that squad coming into the mix. DJ Hogue was on that team, and he's one of the new imports for the Taipans this season. I watched Tucker at the NBA Summer League in July for the Bucks. And that was the team, of course, Hugo Besson was with. Tucker obviously playing minutes over Besson at that event, and he was just a highlight waiting to happen. Every time down the floor in transition, he's pointing to the roof.
Well, we've seen that so far. He's had a couple of opportunities, but they've missed him. You expect that NBA Bo is going to be looking for that as well.
Great take, Matt Johns.
That is as silky as you like.
Just keeps it on the handoff and finishes over the rim. Bullets out by 14. Hook Porty pounding away. Gorjak Gak. And I thought he might have pulled the chair for a moment there, but he picks up the foul.
Basket does not count.
Basket waved away. Jordan Caroline's going to check in for Dave Barlow.
And I've got a little break in play here. You mentioned the Phoenix playing Tasmania right now. Well, a bit of drama down there, so we might have some new viewers with an evacuation from a fire alarm. Went off in the stadium.
Down in Lonnie.
Just before halftime. So welcome to any of the new viewers from the Phoenix fans and Jack Jumpers who are just tuning into this one whilst that gets sorted.
Oh, jeez. Well, it was absolutely pelting down outside.
Oh, boy.
On the way in.
And on the drive down.
To Ballarat, wasn't it? Golding catches and slashes from long range.
That's another part of Xavier Rattan-Mays' game that is going to be highly valued on this team. His ability to find other guys, especially Chris Golding, on the three. He can break it down off the dribble, and all he needs is one help defender to get out of position, and he's going to find someone who's open.
Good take from Kadee. Draws the foul on Hook Porty and kisses it off the glass.
A young kid looking at how to attack a bigger, more athletic player off the dribble. Just watch that play back, Jason Kadee. Put the moves on Hook Porty, had him beat, but knows his ability to close the gap and potentially block it against the backboard. But when he times that physical little bump to throw Hook Porty off, trying to time it, gets the opportunity for an and one. That's a guy who's played plenty of NBL games at the high level.
He just makes great reads off those type of actions,
No doubt.
Jason Kadee. When he snakes off those handoffs, those ball screens, he becomes a really, really tough cover. This is McQuatch Malawatch back into the game. Hook Porty finds the lane, the floater off the back of the iron. He's having a little bit of a tough time of things right now, Ariel Hook Porty, and he picks up something of a frustration foul right there.
Second personal foul.
So it was 32 seconds left in the half. Getting the word from Mick Randall from the Herald Sun down in Tassie when that stadium was evacuated. So we'll wait to hear more. The fire alarm's gone off and hopefully everybody's okay. They can resume proceedings soon enough. Kadee fouled.
Another one of those smart plays.
Mays.
You spoke about it. One of those really smart plays. Tom Mays taking a step in, trying to be a little physical on the defensive end, and Kadee knew that, so he just let it fly. And we mentioned being a little chilly in Ballarat. Well, let's hope that fire alarm gets sorted because all those people are standing outside in Tassie.
Yeah, shout out to them.
That's going to be cold.
Hopefully the beanies are close by.
Speaking of Tassie,
talk to me.
26 minutes for their membership sellout.
Bang.
You reckon they're ready to go to run things back?
March.
Looking forward to that. March back, sorry. Looking forward to seeing that NBL documentary coming out as well.
Mate, what a story they were.
Behind the scenes.
A whole bunch of Scott Roth being kind of frustrated with proceedings and sending the cameras away is what you can expect. But yeah, great access. No doubt it's going to be a cracking documentary. NBL23 next level on ESPN. 10 Peach, KO.
KO, it's going to be great.
In the next little while.
And if you think you know, okay, we're going to see some behind the scenes, you've seen nothing yet. It's jaw-dropping stuff.
Here's Jordan Caroline getting physical as he attacks the basket. Didn't think Matt Johns did all that much wrong right there, but he picks up the foul.
Interestingly enough, the offense we're watching from United now, again, the Blitz is coming next week, starting next Friday. They'll throw a few things out there, but still keeping some of your plays ready to go in the season, not giving away your whole playbook. And that handoff at the top of the key, something Dean Vickman's done for a long time. The multiple handoffs kind of looks like a Harlem Globetrotter style, going one side, giving everybody the chance to explore and get downhill. I think it's going to be just utilised a whole lot on this United team because you've got athletes like Tucker and Rattan Mays ready to turn the corner, even Jordan Caroline at the 4. And you've got Chris Golding flying off the last one as well. It's going to be really hard to guard.
Second one is good. 1 from 2 at the line. 1 point, Jordan Caroline.
1 for 2 from Caroline at the stripe. Good screen in the backcourt there from Johns. They forced the switch. Caroline, look, he's up and about defensively. Sliding his feet on Krebs. The switch again. Humphreys now. Ball moves. They find Gorjak Gak underneath, and he finishes above the rim. Great ball movement from the Bullets.
And that's exactly what it's been all game so far. Yes, the pressure from Melbourne United is there, but Brisbane just aren't rushing. They're not panicking, and the ball movement's been terrific. And that's going to be a travel first, I believe, on Isaac Humphreys. A little pick and roll, but just a little happy feet before he caught it. Caused him to take that extra step before the ball was on the floor. Turnover Melbourne United, and that's really good defense from the Bullets.
He thought he was heading to the free throw line, Isaac Humphreys. And a little slow getting back on D, Melbourne United. Here's Gak. Finds Krebs, and he's down the middle of the lane. Can't finish over the top. Good take, though, from Tanner Krebs. Nice to see him in an aggressive mindset.
No doubt about it. Looking at those key guys, he's going to have to step in and carry a lot of the weight in these preseason games.
18-point lead to Brisbane. Isaac Humphreys can't finish. Here come the Bullets again in transition. Buck finds Gak, and it rims out. Opportunity gone begging for Brisbane. Tick under 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Caroline spinning and winning at the rim and tells the front row all about it and one finish.
Well, looks like he's got a friend in the front row because he is flexing, but he's strong coming off exactly the handoff I was just talking about. Instead of trying to get the contact and force one up off balance, slowed right down, trusted his strength. Got up and finished with the M1 opportunity. That's really good from Jordan Caroline. He's going to have a huge role to play on this team. When you talk about some of the potential four men he's going to have to go up against. Like Xavier Cooks is in for, you'd think, a massive NBL23 in that 4 spot. Jordan Caroline's going to be taking a lot of the brunt of those.
Here's Harry Froling ripping and fading away, and he's balling right now. Harry Froling.
Balance once again down the other end, Harry Froling. Didn't rush when he got the step on Humphreys, slowed right down, took the bump, got to his spot, knocked it down.
Got 9 first half points. Froling, Humphreys catches and eventually finds a way to put it in the bucket through the contact.
Well, he's making good activity, good reads, Isaac Humphrey on the pick and rolls. Getting to the right spot. Got the second effort and got it to count. Isaac Humphreys, but on the other end. Ball movement, player movement from the Bullets. Getting where they need to get to. Making the right read, the unselfish read, and just getting pretty good looks overall.
Oh no, turnover in the backcourt from Brisbane. Bach and Froling not quite on the same page, and Melbourne's extended pressure pays dividends. Just working their way back into this game. Melbourne United trailed by double digits at quarter time, an 8-zip run for Brisbane to start this second term, but Melbourne eking their way back. Down by 14 right now. Froling, oh, Bach, he had him. Rasmus didn't know where it was. Here's Krebs, steals it and flushes it.
Well, he is feeling really good, Tanner Krebs. A little read on Brad Newley in transition. Second dunk for the game from Krebs, but those turnovers, they're making it pay as Tucker gets ready to check in. Caroline tees one up, knocks it down, and yet another flex.
Man, that's going to be big for him this season if he can knock down that 3 ball.
High energy guy.
Krebs into the corner. Knockdown triple from Lual Ding.
Tanner Krebs made that happen, the corner to corner. He had his feet set, ready to go.
Malawach spinning, knocks it in, and this pace has picked up to finish this first half.
Well, the pace hasn't been the reason the Bulls have put up 51. It's been really slowing it down on the offensive end, getting through their sets. Vondrick Walker came in and just lit it up, just caught fire. But it's right here, getting through plays, not forcing anything is Bach. That could count. That is going to count. Good take from Rasmus Bach again. Staying balanced, copying the hit, getting to the spin, and foul was called, and just inadvertently, I think it was Humphreys or Newley grabbed the net, so he really had no influence on the play, but that's the rule. That's going to count. Goaltending and one opportunity.
Golding and Tucker back in for Melbourne United. Newley and Malawach will check out. Dean Vickerman is going to have some things to say to his squad about their defense at halftime. 53 on the board already for Brisbane.
I've been highlighting their physicality on the defensive end, but if you're not in the right spot and if you're cheating, if you're over physical at times, giving up the fouls they've done, then in the end it's not going to be good defense. And that's exactly what Dean Vickerman's going to say. The energy's there, but just making silly moves.
Buck knocks down Caroline. Not an easy thing to do, I wouldn't have thought.
Oh, I don't think that's why the whistle didn't go. Isaac Humphreys.
Now he has that kind of range.
No doubt.
Isaac Humphreys didn't show it in Adelaide, but he has, prior to that, was really working on that side of his game to kind of modernise his skill set, and he hopes to sort of show that a little bit more this season. Tucker misses from the mid-range, and the Bullets will take it. Playmaking from Harry Froling, skip pass, bang, Lual Ding knocks down the triple, back-to-back hits from Ding.
Why not? Knock one down just before in the same spot. Oh, hand went down very briefly as Rajon Tucker with that spin move. Good block from Bach.
That's just really solid, D. Bach moving his feet, Froling walling up.
And that's what they've been doing this entire half. Really just playing solid defense, and any time they have had a very rare breakdown, that's when Melbourne United's been able to score.
It was a 19-point lead to Brisbane. Golding, that could be an offensive foul. In fact, he gets the whistle, Chris Golding, and he's going to go to the free throw line.
within first gear. I'm not sure if you can get below first gear, Chris Golding, but we can see pre-season he hasn't really taken into CG43 mode yet. Wouldn't expect to see that much, maybe little glimpses of the blitz, but he likes to keep things pretty tame until the season starts. Maybe this gets him going from 3. Just hit the 1-3 ball so far.
First one is good.
Just recently signed a new extension to his contract, Chris Golding. Going to be the face of the franchise for another couple of seasons.
Shea Ili, another one who signed an extension with Melbourne United, getting 2 key pieces. Announced today that Golding will be captain once again, and Shea Ili vice captain. I think that's extremely well deserved. The season Shea Ili had last year.
Final minute of the second quarter here in Ballarat. And Jason Kadee, wow, wide open, buck naked underneath the bucket. And the Bullets find him.
He had a tent up in the key there, Jason Kadee. He was there for about a week and a half before they found him. Easy 2 points, and there's that spin move from Tucker. Foul was called on a pull, it looked like it was there. That's his signature spin. It's downhill, plants that right foot when he's already at full speed, and lightning quick and lightning strong spin move. And you don't want to be a step slow on that, because he's shown across the course of his professional career that he gets his footwork right on that spin. Well, the next step from there, he's going up.
Shades it to Jim McCall about that spin move.
Another one, yeah.
From Tucker. Got both guys that little lacking maybe a little confidence to let it fly from long range. And when people step off them as they attack in the lane, look to spin and make plays, and Tucker gets himself to the stripe. Knocks down both. It's a 17-point game. 2-for-1 opportunity for Brisbane right here. Pick and pop with Froling. 2-for-1 goes begging. Kadee just pulls the Jets. Ball moves. Kick.
Good defense.
Froling cleans up the mess.
That's a block from Caroline to get to Dean's 3, but landed straight in the hands of Harry Froling. 60 points in the first 20 minutes.
Enormous. Been a really great first half from the Bullets, Harry Froling in particular. Tucker.
Oh my.
Right to the rim as the clock expires. Aggressive finish to the first half from Rajan Tucker. Something for Melbourne to feel good about as they head to the sheds.
Well, he showed us just a little tease there of what could be Tucker. Well and truly above the rim, but just said, no, I'm going to take this one nice and easy. But that's going to be an interesting halftime speech. And for a lot of people thinking, look, it's just pre-season, we don't need to worry too much about this. Dean Vickman will 100% not be happy, and he will have some words to say. And I know that from experience of a pre-season game against St. Mary's back in 2019. I only got away with a 1-point win. And Dean Vickman the next day, one of the biggest sprays he's ever given. And everybody's thinking, we're just playing a college team here and like this. But 60 points to a very undermanned Brisbane Bullets outfit, he's not going to be happy whatsoever.
On the flip side, credit to the Bullets.
Absolutely.
James Duncan, Greg Vanderjack, Peter Crawford, they will be wrapped with the way in which their squads come out. Those key players down in this first half, they have just come out and gone to work. 60% from the field. They've been near 50% from long range. And it got started with Devondrick Walker. Quick 10 points early in that first quarter, coming in off the bench. And then others have followed suit. What a great first half it's been by Harry Froling. 11 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, and he's just been sensational. 100% from the field, 5 of 5, and Jason Kadee similar, 10 points, 3 boards, and a couple of dimes. Walker, Froling, and Kadee in particular, and I've enjoyed the activity from Tanner Krebs. The Bullets have been sensational in this first half.
It's been unbelievable, and again, it's been nothing special. It's just literally just been getting through sets on the offensive end, making reads when Melbourne United tried to lift their defensive intensity. They're overplaying in the lanes. They're being a little bit physical, which is the way they want to play. They're just making the right reads, whether it's a backdoor, it's a curl cut, if they feel their defense is attached to them. They're getting wide open layups, and if someone's helping off them, they're not forcing anything, and they're getting wide open threes, knocking it down. Ding hit that first one wide open in the corner, the second one more contested, but he's already feeling good about himself, making plays for each other. So the good things are coming.
On the flip side, for Melbourne, trailing by 17 at half-time, the game leading scorer is Rajan Tucker. He's got 14, including 8 of 9 from the free throw line. To go along with 5 boards, Jordan Caroline has 10. But not much else happening for them, certainly at the offensive end, and then you've spoken about their struggles defensively.
Oh, no doubt about it, but Rajon Tucker, just from the first glimpse of him, he's going to be exciting to watch. He might be one of those guys who looks like leading potentially free throws this year. Just how strong he is getting to the hoop, that quick first step, and just the balance to be able to cop a knock on the drive and still get a shot away and potentially get it down. That's going to be really impressive, but offensively, they've got to work through some things. I don't think that's at all really what Team Vickland's going to be talking about. That'll come with playing together a lot more, but giving up 60 points to an Underman Bullets team who have just walked through their offense at will, that's going to be the entire focus.
Well, Melbourne United memberships are on sale now. It's time to unite with Victoria's basketball powerhouse and become a member now. Membership's the best value way to attend Melbourne United games, so enjoy with a full season membership or a part season 5-game or 3-game membership. Head to the Melbourne United website to find out more. And Pete, if you're an NBL fan of any club around the country, now that's the push for Melbourne United members to get behind their team. But geez, the talent that's going to be on display across the league this season, both Australian and international talent, is going to be spectacular. You need to be in that arena.
Oh, absolutely. It's a world-class talent across the league. I'm trying to think back over the last few years. Every year in pre-season, we're looking at teams, we're looking at the rosters, the moves made, and there's probably a runaway couple of teams where you think, look, they're going to be there in the business end, and there's still probably that. But overall, in terms of competitiveness, this could be one of the most even and competitive seasons we have seen for some time. There's just so many strong moves made in the off-season, how it comes together. But across the board, there is a strong run at this title.
There's been some exciting moves over the course of free agency. I mean, we have in front of us one of the teams that have done a few of those in the Bullets with Aaron Baines and Tyler Johnson coming in. But let's talk about a couple of the others while we've got a bit of a break here at halftime. The kids are out on the floor trying to knock down shots and win some prizes. That's what the Adelaide 36ers are going to be looking to do this season. Antonius Cleveland, Robert Franks, Craig Randall II, that put together the squad there in the city of Churches.
Well, watch overtime back on our TVs. Well overdue. And you, with the yes or no, championship or failure, not bust, didn't use the word bust.
Well, I'm not sure where Cam Luke's coming from with the championship or failure. I mean, championship or bust as a phrase, just it works fine. Just roll with it.
Failure doesn't roll off the tongue.
But look, surely that's the mentality. Well, I mean, that's what Franks has been saying. That's what Cleveland's been saying. And if it's good enough for them, I'm going with it too.
Well, you talk about normally, okay, they're talking about championship. They quite literally said that phrase, which is what it is. And that's what Adelaide fans, I think, have been desperate for is some big, exciting moves in the off-season to put them in this position. Yes, that comes with maybe spending a little cash, but you've got to do that. And they've done that. And what excites me the most about what the roster they've put together is they've got 2 proven imports in the NBL. Now, it's going to be a big thing when we look at new imports coming into the league, how they adjust and transition to the NBL. The NBL's not the G League. The NBL's not the NBA, and it's not anywhere in Europe.
Great.
It is a different style of play, and we've seen so many highly touted guys come in and struggle. On the flip side, we've seen guys who maybe fly under the radar who come in and look really good and have really strong years. So it's going to be really interesting to see. So having Franks and Cleveland already in the bag, and it's going to open up a walking bucket in Craig Randall. Can't wait to see him. Mitch McCarron has vowed he's going to bounce back. He's going to be more aggressive. And you got Daniel Johnson, who's going to do Daniel Johnson.
Well, that's why I feel like Craig Randall is a bit of an X factor on that squad, because clearly they went into the off season with that mentality of we've swung and missed on a few imports here over the last couple of years. Let's make sure we get some proven dudes, guys who we know can get it done in this league. So Cleveland and Franks tick that box. We're going to see we know what we're going to get from Cleveland and Franks.
Yep.
You know what they're going to bring to the table. Will Craig Randall's game translate? Dusty Hannah's put up big numbers in the G League. Dingadell got things done in the G League. that's the guy who we haven't seen play in the National Basketball League.
And my big concern, only really from as Craig Randall with the transition, is on the other end. Now, scouting reports in the past coming out of him is on the defense is in his strongest suit. Talking to a couple of Adelaide boys who obviously read those before he came, and if he averages 30, that doesn't matter. But the key is, it's going to matter with what CJ Bruton wants to do, because Mitch McCarron is an excellent defender. Sunday Detch is one of the best defenders in the league. Tony Cleveland, one of the best defensive player. So you're going to have a really strong defensive outfit. He's going to have to be able to be solid on that end. But if he can unlock something on the offensive end and be really special, it's going to take pressure off a lot of the other players. But what excites me is Daniel Johnson going to do his thing. Kai Soto coming back for another year. But there's going to be a lot of turns where we see maybe Cleveland and Franks 4 and 5. They're going to play small ball. Franks played the 5 of the Bullets last year. So you can have McCarron, Randall and Detch, Cleveland and Franks. Now, that is going to be an exciting 5 on the floor.
No doubt about it. I'll tell you what else is going to be exciting. Seeing the New Zealand Breakers.
I've been waiting for this.
Can we talk about the fact they're going to be back at Spark Arena? And can we talk about the word coming out of New Zealand today? Closed-door scrimmage against the Illawarra Hawks. No George King, no Dan Greeter. But here's the word I got back from New Zealand from that closed-door scrimmage. They whacked them by 28. Now, look, the numbers, the results, pre-season coaches are doing some things. But the word is that they got up the floor and got after it, the Breakers. I got told they played with pace, energy, pressuring the ball handlers in the front court, really getting it after it defensively. Barry Brown Jr. with 26, Abercrombie with 12, Derek Pardon with 10, Cam Glidden came in, knocked a couple of shots and had 9, and they wiped the Illawarra Hawks off the floor.
I can't wait, firstly, to see them back home. That's going to be obviously an emotional thing for especially guys like Tom Abercrombie. But I got some word. Once I saw your tweet, I did a bit of intel myself.
Yes, sir.
Very exciting from all reports in terms of the defensive mindset, the focus on that defense man getting up and in. And wasn't listed there in the stat you just read off, but you and I are both very high on Jarrell Brantley.
Yep.
We're no Finn Delaney, so give him a chance to unlock some things. I think he can be very special in this league if get some things sorted.
Well, the other guy I'm excited to watch is Rayan Rupert. Another French next star in the mix for the Breakers. Currently projected mid-first rounder. The 7'3" wingspan is going to be a problem for teams when he's guarding them. And I got told today he spent most of the second half guarding Tyler Harvey. So Modi Mayor put a lot of faith in the young teenage phenom, and he got some things done at the defensive end.
So here's a little bit of the intel that I got. The Defensive Player of the Year this year will come from the New Zealand Breakers. A life member watching the game, he's been on board since day one. And at halftime, he said that is the best defense he's ever seen in the history of the Breakers.
Whoa. It's early September.
Very early, but that's just good hype for what we need from
it's
New
great.
Zealand. But yes, we talk a lot about what they went through the last 2 years. Obviously, no one could ever understand unless those guys who were in the room having to go through it. But on the floor, that was one of many issues that they had in terms of trying to get some consistency on both ends. But defensively, it just wasn't there. So, Modi Mayor ready to go and unlock that. Then it's a different ballgame.
Well, I chatted with Modi Mayor on the huddle in the preseason coaches series the other day, and we talked about the defensive talent that he has on that roster. You know, you look at Brown Jr., the imports all defend. Don't need to reel them off. They all play D. And then you add in Repair, and you know what Tom Abercrombie's going to bring at the defensive end. They have some dogs that they can put out there to get some stops.
No doubt about it. And one guy we haven't mentioned, not so much on the defensive end, but Will McDowell-White. I enjoyed your chat with him. Ready to take a big leap forward this year, playing with supreme confidence and getting hand to the keys to be able to take that New Zealand outfit and just get back to a rhythm. Playing home games. It's a fun road trip to go on if you're an away team, but for them to be able to play in front of their home fans, it's going to be loud, it's going to be emotional, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Well, just a tick over a minute to go here at half-time before we see Melbourne and Brisbane get back at it. 17-point lead for Brisbane. They put 60 points on the board in that opening half. They won the first quarter 26-16. They won the second quarter 34-27. So what kind of response do we see from Melbourne United to begin this third quarter at the defensive end. Will we be able to see some adjustments, do you think, Bulls, right out of the gate?
Yeah, no doubt. That's going to be the key thing to watch, especially in this first couple of possessions, what Melbourne United do on the defensive end. Do they maybe take just a half a step back, not so aggressive, just to try and keep bodies in front? Because the intent was there, but if the intent is ill-advised, if you're in the wrong spot, if you're being too overzealous fighting over screens, then a team that's such an equal opportunity offense like the Bullets just did in the first half, they're just going to make you pay. How many easy layups, back doors, and then when they did try and catch up, it was either an and one or Bullets got to the free throw line. So we'll keep an eye on that. And if you're Brisbane, you've got to expect that. You've got to expect that's the way they're going to come out and change things on the defensive end and just try and be even more solid.
Both teams stepping out to begin this second half. Starters back out there for Brisbane. Kadee, Krebs, Statman, DJ Mitchell, and Harry Froling, who was sensational in that opening couple of quarters. Bit of a change to the lineup for Melbourne United. Lachlan Barker gets the opportunity to start here in the second half, ahead of Xavier Rattan-Mays, alongside Golding, Rajan Tucker, Jordan Caroline, and Isaac Humphries into the starting lineup to begin this second half.
Mixing things up here, Dean Vickerman, and let's see this first offensive possession from the Bullets. Oh my.
Statman attacks the closeout. The ball moving beautifully for Brisbane. Mitchell opening in the corner. He can't hit. Froling wins it back. Statman himself a nice ball game. Froling kicks it to Krebs. He can't hit.
Well, that was a gorgeous opening possession. That ball movement, that player movement, what they did, they nearly had Harry Froling in the pick and pop. That's what it was designed for. Jason Kadee with a big loop to come back up off a pick and pop option. Well, United did well to close out to him, but the ball movement was terrific as Tucker lets one fly. That's off the front of the rim, a violation.
Well, he's trying to beat the scouting report there. Rajan Tucker, Tanner Krebs sliding underneath that dribble handoff from Isaac Humphries. Tucker trying to punish that scheme and hard off the iron.
Use that full court pressure on Melbourne United. Lockie Barker, as you mentioned, the first half, playing for that last fully contracted position on Melbourne United's roster.
It's Kadee, pick and pop. You called for it, and Froling all air for the big fella.
We see that Lockie Barker fighting over that screen from Kadee, making him give it up. That's where he's going to get the opportunity to get signed. It's not going to be anything he does on the offensive end. When you're looking at that last spot, all Dean Vickerman wants is someone who, if needed to throw out there, is going to be really solid defensively.
Well, these are big minutes for Lachlan Barker, a big opportunity for him to win that spot, a fully contracted roster position. He's never had one. He's been a part of a couple of different NBL organisations over the years. Krebs, that's going to count. Humphries just knocks it out of the bottom of the rim.
That looked like it might have potentially gone off the other side from Isaac Humphries, but you're right with Lockie Barker, and it's a new position for him, who's notoriously been a bucket in every league he's played in. He came in for Phoenix last year at times and played really well offensively, but that is exactly not what is going to get him signed. So much so, it'll definitely help. Make no mistake, it's Caroline.
Oh, Caroline, wow. Found a little opening underneath, couldn't finish.
That's going to be a flop warning, you think. There it is. Official one coming at the next whistle.
Mitchell. Guarded by Caroline. Finds Kadee, finds Mitchell. Beautiful two-man game, and that'll count. Humphries.
Back-to-back goaltends from the big fella. Just hasn't got that timing quite right. Here comes Hook Porty back into the game.
That was a very quick Hook Porty for Isaac Humphries from Dean Vickerman, and he'll take a seat.
Again, just that presence of mind. Both Tanner Krebs' decision-making has been great tonight, but Jason Kadee he's one of those best. He's just so impossible to get him rushed. Just so composed as Chris Golding with a push-up on the rookie. Oh, good there. Tanner Krebs with the rebound.
Yeah, he's got that thing on a string right now, Jason Kadee. He's slapping on those early ball screens. Barker's got the job of trying to curtail his influence. These guys that have been playing, doing great things in the NBL1 recently, are in form, are fit and firing and playing very well for Brisbane. Here's Tucker. Puts the Jets on in transition. Took an extra step, I would have thought. But he got the whistle. And
two different whistles.
so the foul called on the far side, but on the commentary side, the ref saw what I saw, and the travel prevails.
I saw it as well. There was a reason he got that extra step past Jason Kadee, because he took one illegally, but just see the intent, get the rebound and get off and run.
Might get away with that in the association, but not here on Australian shores. That's a 21-point lead now for Brisbane. Kadee in his bag, finds Froling, rolls it in over the front of the rim.
That's that decision-making where Jason Kadee, he'll keep the ball as long as he needs to get somebody open in a spot where they don't even have to put the ball on the floor. Just catch it and go up. Take really all the hard work away from creating their shot, and there he is, just being solid in the lanes, getting the steal.
Beautiful play in transition. Kadee, Mitchell, Statman, and Melbourne United call for time.
Yeah, having a bit of fun out here, the Brisbane Bullets.
Well, Jason Kadee's fingerprints are all over this margin right now.
25-point margin. I mean, you're right. Jason Kadee got the steal, created that offensive transition, 2-on-1. Sort of pass from Mitchell in the end, but it has been all Jason Kadee. Down this end, he's so composed is the word by far.
Yeah, well, it's not like he's lighting up the scoreboard or the box score, doing some nice things. He's in double digits and he's leading the game in dimes, but he's just running the show here for the Bullets. He's just, as you say, perfectly composed. The ball's moving thanks to his work at the point guard spot, and they're getting whatever they want for the most part, and they lead by 25.
It's one of those guys would be so fun to be a teammate with, because you know that he is going to be composed, he's going to lead, he's going to have you in the right spot. But as long as you get through your offense, get to your right spot, if someone helps off because they're worried about him, he's going to hit you. All you've got to do is get to the right spot. He will find you, ready to catch and shoot, ready to roll and put it in. That's exactly what he's done his whole career, but really, his NBL 1 season was terrific, where it's a different role altogether. And that's not for everybody. Who you come in as being a big-time scorer as well as passing the rock in NBL 1, but putting up 30-plus a game into an NBL year where you can do that when you get hot at any time, but into a role like this, so seamlessly. That's why he's been at this level for so long.
So some stern words from Dean Vickerman at halftime, you'd imagine, and some repeated right there in the huddle. What kind of response does he get? Rajan Tucker into the lane, strong finish, count it, and the foul.
Strong again. He's on Tucker. Turning the corner, and he enjoyed that. You can just see that extra step that he has. If you can't get back in front, he's going to go all the way to the hoop, and you've got nothing to do but foul him. And if you're trying to keep him off the free throw line, somebody's going to have to do something more than just hack down at his arms. I think he's just too strong. Just gets there at will, and it's going to have to be a wrap-up to get anything close to stopping him getting that shot up.
This is his 10th free throw attempt. Tucker 9 of 10 from the stripe. And that will give them a little energy now. Extended pressure from United. The trap doesn't come from Caroline. And Jason Kadee handles it. Here comes Brisbane in the half court now. Froling. Hands off to Krebs. On his left hand, draws the foul on Tucker, and they'll get a new 14 seconds on the shot clock, the Bullets.
17 points now for Rajon Tucker. The Brisbane Bullets, just a real even scoring load so far. Everybody just taking their own, and that's what we spoke about with no Baines, Sobey, Johnson. It's going to be that equal opportunity.
Oh, what a pass. Kadee finds Walker underneath.
Andre Walker. First time he checked into the game in the first quarter, caught the ball and let it fly. First time he checked in there, first touch, bucket.
He's got 12 now. Walker, those early 10 points, that's his first bucket since. Golding, hook Porty, double pumps, and he can't finish, and here come the Bullets through Walker. Probing, foul, professional foul committed by Golding.
That's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but Harry Froling, down the other end, where you're out of position, your man, Hook Porty, gets the little dump-off pass and goes up to finish, but just staying straight up, not lowering your hands, just jumping out of the way, just using your body verticality to force him to miss. Devondrick Walker, we speak of the man trying to stay hot. He's short there. Caroline with the rebound. Here comes Melbourne United.
Golding. Pick and roll here with Caroline. Kicks to the corner. Walker gets involved. Knocks it away. Bullets upstairs for Lual Ding. And the turnover ensues.
Highlighting for the last 3 minutes just how good Kadee's been. The composure, never does anything rushed. That's probably the one time we'll see it.
He was starting to feel himself.
No, I don't blame him. We've seen Ding in NBL1 North. He's as athletic as they come. With the length as well. Just throw it up there, he'll go get it. Jason Kadee thought the same thing. That's going to be a foul on Ding. Getting around Chris Golding's hip. Down low, just a bit overzealous on the turnouts. I tell you what, I've only seen a few little clips and no real big dunks yet, but NBA Bo's going to be busy this season. This is one preseason game.
When come up short. Brisbane with that 14-point lead. Kadee, Mitchell, just easy as you like for the Bullets off the hand of Jason Kadee.
Exactly what I said about a minute ago, where if you just get to the right spot, Kadee will put it where you do not have to put the ball on the ground, whether it's a catch and shoot three or it's a roll to the hoop. As soon as he floats that pass to you, all you have to do is worry about his finishing. Don't worry about taking an extra dribble or whatever it is.
There's the defense sitting off Rajan Tucker, walling up. Caroline similar, and they're just forcing mid-range jumpers, the Bullets, and United coming up short. Walker, Mitchell draws the foul on Caroline.
That's the good thing you highlighted there from Rajan Tucker, where defense really sagging off, and that's something that it's going to come in games like this, especially in the preseason, of him understanding that transition to the NBL. It's a smaller court. You can really clog up the key, and we saw that last year once teams, Guyler, you mentioned, like to Jim McCall, where you're going to dare them to shoot from outside. Like, yes, you take those and try and get them to knock down a few. You want to keep getting that confidence up and working on that. But if that's not falling, how do you play on the offensive end? How do you figure out the defense to still be super effective? And we've seen it so far. It's going to be a foul on Dave Barlow called. If Dave Barlow gets a tech, is it a coach tech? Is it a tech on the bench? I'm not sure how that works.
When was the last time we saw a player coach on the floor?
Shane Heal, wouldn't it?
In the NBL.
Shane Heal? That's a little way back.
Jeez, that goes back a ways.
That's back in the Dragons. I can't remember too many others.
We saw some great ones back in the day. Well, we've seen them on YouTube. Cal Bruton, of course.
Shane Heal would be the last one.
Yeah, he might have been. Did Tim Conrad, when he was assistant, did he suit up in pre-season? I don't think so.
Those are the kind of players I mentioned. Tucker to still find ways to be effective if his shot's not falling. And getting on the glass, maybe cutting off the ball as well. But just as soon as he gets downhill, I think he's still going to be super effective. But trying to work that out in the NBL, it's not always easy to do.
It's good activity from Hook Porty. Some guys in that situation just accept being blocked out, but he fought for front position. Foul on Bach. And Melbourne United get it back. 14 on the shot clock. Tucker right into his sweet spot in the middle of the lane, but he can't finish.
Got there easily in the end. We want that one back. Those are the kind of plays. He doesn't really rush anything when he gets down low.
Here's Gack. Finds Walker. Beautiful pass. Oh, my. Upstairs, Walker to Gack.
And again, just that composure on the offensive end. They're just walking through sets, waiting for a little breakdown from Melbourne United, and then someone's cutting and making things happen. Brad Newley no good there on the take. Here comes Mitchell.
Oh, beautiful drop-off pass. And Gack finishes, and they are getting everything they want, Brisbane. Dean Vickerman points to the bench. Timeout, Melbourne United. Brisbane lead by 30.
And the most disappointing thing that Dean Vickerman's going to be upset about is that they're doing nothing special. It is nothing special on the offensive end. Rather than everybody setting screens, they're moving for each other, they're being unselfish, and as soon as there's any sort of breakdown or someone's in the wrong position, they just make the extra pass and they're making them pay. Their shooting clip would be unreal.
Well, they're shooting 60% from the field, the Bullets. 72% from two, and they're getting layups. They're getting layups and dunks and easy finishes at the rim, executing off those ball screens and handoffs, and it is a beautiful thing to watch for Bullets fans.
This is the way that they want to play. When you think about how well they've been physicality-wise in terms of just setting screens, if they're going to be physical and try and chase over, you've got to set screens. They've done that so far tonight and making the right reads off that. And if you're a Bullets fan right now, you're thinking, imagine Banger standing out there, Bainesy setting those screens when you have to make a choice. Am I going under, letting a guy like Cadell or Nathan Sobey pop back, or am I chasing over when they're curling so well, they're backdooring so well, when they're making that extra pass that if the defense comes across late, someone in the corner is spotting up. These are really, really promising signs.
Well, you know what else this looks like to me? This is a whole bunch of guys here for Brisbane who have been playing. These guys have all been playing over the last few months. Week after week after week, playing ball games in the NBL 1. Mitchell, Buck, Walker, go right through this roster. Cadell, Froling, Krebs. These guys have been balling, whereas these Melbourne United guys, they've been on the practice floor, yes. Not many of them have been playing on a weekly basis right now, and they're getting it handed to them.
And that's just a great team defense. Just putting the body on the line was Bark there, Hook Porty, and as soon as Hook Porty changed direction, another defender popped up. Mitchell put his body in line as he teased one up. And that would have hurt, no doubt, for Melbourne United. But you're spot on, and I think it speaks a lot to the level of the NBL 1's come. It's really national competition now, but it's going to be a flop warning. And a foul call in the end on Ding, but you're playing such high quality level of basketball every weekend. I mean, Ding, teammates with Keanu Pinder, Mitch McCarron, Anthony Drimming, and Northside Wizards, so you're learning from them every single day.
No doubt.
Cadell, and I've spoke to Jason Cadell and both Harry Froling about they're a little bit upset they can't be joining their NBL 1 team just to finish off a national title run, but they've got to be working out here with the Bullets, and thank goodness they're here. But
it's a tough situation, isn't it? You want to be out there, but this is bigger fish to fry.
Well, no doubt, and it's something that will probably be looked at for next year to make sure that we don't get to these situations. But that Gold Coast Rollers team, Cadell, Krebs, Mitchell, Lamar Patterson.
Tough. Geez, there were some good teams in the NBL 1 North. Northside Wizards, when they had their full squad together.
And speaking of Kevin White on that, there's the one thing that let them down was it very rarely happened.
Yeah.
They missed out on Mitch McCarron, who was on Boomer's duty when they got eliminated.
Can I just say, I love that we live in a world in the NBL right now where that particular play was officiated as it was. 3 or 4 years ago, we had a problem with flopping. And the adjustment that they've made from a rules perspective and from an officiating perspective, so that on a play like that, we let that guy just sit. Let him sit on the floor, get dunked on, give him the flop warning, and we all get on with our business. It's a great place that we've arrived at.
It's also going to be really pivotal for things like that this year with the amount of athletes we've got. We want highlight plays. Even that. There's Bark, tees one up from the corner. That's no good, but that could have easily been called a blocking foul, a moving foul with the moving your feet, but the physicality was there. Nothing really came of it. Let the play unfold. I think you're commentating the preseason referees. I'm for it.
Let's give him a little shout. Here's Walker. Step back. Contested triple. All net from Devondrick Walker. The Bullets are out by 32.
That's probably been the only negative so far for the night is James Duncan went for a high five on Devondrick Walker's celebration back. Didn't get it.
Oh, no.
Devondrick Walker went back and had another look at him. He threw it out again as he turned his head 0 for 2. James Duncan on the night.
Oh, no, that's rough. We'll talk about that on the huddle tomorrow when I chat with him. McQuatch Malawatch finishes underneath.
I am stuck on that. I hope you don't bring it up because that had Minnesota Timberwolves Kevin Love about it. Just chasing the high five. Why wouldn't you high five Devondrick Walker the way he's been?
Gack with the keeper. Banging with Hook Porty, and he can't finish. Ratan Mays kicks to Newley, lines it up from the corner, and that was well long. Foul called underneath, and Melbourne will keep it. That's a 30-point margin here. 1.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. First minutes for Zach Triplett, checking in off the bench. And Isaac Humphreys back in as well. Newley and Hook Porty will have a seat.
We'll see how long it takes for Zach Triplett to get a shot up. That St. Mary's game came in on his home floor from Keilor. First touch, contested 3, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Ratan Mays, 10 on the shot clock. Getting downhill off the Humphreys screen and kissing it off the glass.
That was better spacing from Melbourne United on the offensive end. Ratan Mays had that space to create and make some plays happen. And Devondrick Walker throwing it out of bounds, looking for Harry Froling on the pick and roll. Really as I said, done nothing special on the offensive end. It's been super simple basketball, but just setting screens and making reads. They put up 79 points.
1 minute left in the third quarter.
It's triplet. Ball moving around the perimeter for Melbourne. Malawach down the lane, finds Humphreys. Little righty hook comes up short. So we're inside the final minute here of the third quarter. In a special game for Brisbane to begin their pre-season campaign thus far. Good ball movement. Walker keys one up, can't hit. They pull it out. They're going to use most of the rest of the clock here. Bark on the attack. Oh, great pass. John's wide open. He can't hit. Bark gets it back. He's all kinds of activity right now.
That's great work from Rasmus Bark. I'm going to have a replacement player just making things happen.
1 second differential. Shot and game clock right now. 5 on the clock. Walker, that's off. And Brisbane, last touched by Brisbane. So 2 on the clock for Melbourne.
Dodged the bullet there. Devondre Walker, miscommunication on the screen. He was wide open. Time ace.
From the half and in and out for XRM. So that'll do it. 3 quarters down here at Selkirk Stadium in Ballarat. And it's Brisbane with their 28-point lead. 79 for the Bullets, 51 for Melbourne United. And it has been a fun night for Bullets fans thus far.
That last 45 seconds was exactly what the Bullets have done best all night. Getting through their offense, and at any single point it looked like someone could break it off and try and get downhill. They took a couple of dribbles, kicked it to the next person. Set an away screen, get a curl. He's not open, let's find the next guy. Just keep moving both with the ball and without the ball, and they get really good looks. They missed that 3 in the corner. They come up with an offensive rebound. They missed another one. They come up with an offensive rebound. Cause another miscommunication. Devondre Walker wide open from the top of the key. Probably one of the only ones he hasn't hit tonight. So you can't speak highly enough of this Brisbane Bullets game.
Oh, they've been outstanding. 9 guys with 5 points or more for the Bullets. 3 guys in double figures. That's Walker leading the way with 15, Froling with 13, and Kadee with 10. But you put the 5 assists with Kadee's 10 points. You put the 8 boards and the 3 dimes with Froling's scoring numbers. Those 3 in particular have been getting a lot done tonight. There are some gaudy plus-minus numbers for the Bullets starters right now. All very, very healthy kind of stuff. Plus 27 for Mitchell and plus 26 for Harry Froling. That starting group has been sensational. For Melbourne, it's Rejon Tucker with a game-leading 17 points, including 9 of 10 from the stripe. And Jordan Caroline, the other guy in double figures, but not a lot else to crow about in that United box score.
And plus minus is such a unique thing to look at, but a lot of fans might not think it's very valuable, but I'm telling you from experience, Ian Vickerman uses that a lot, and especially in the preseason, because what it tells you is just you're trying to figure out what lineups work well at different points in the game. Well, that's going to be a really big indicator, especially when they want to be a great defensive team. 79 points through 3 quarters. A bit to try and fix. That's what's beauty about preseason. A long way to go. But this is really good from the Bullets.
Well, Melbourne United's proudly supported by their major sponsors, Rolled Vietnamese, Tyre Power, DoorDash, Dream Street Lending, and Trojan Tools. Also, a special thanks to our partners at the City of Ballarat and Ballarat Basketball for hosting the club this week. And it's been a fun week. Keep just following along with what's been going on down here in Ballarat. Pete, the team getting out and about and getting amongst the community.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? And the opportunity to know, okay, we're going to Ballarat for a pre-season game. We can go early. We can have a bit of a pre-season camp and get to the community, get to see some kids and help them out, but also spend a lot of time with each other away from the court. Do those kind of things because we know how important culture is to the success of anyone in any pro sport. Well, Melbourne United have a lot of new faces, so that's going to be really important.
Final quarter underway. Golding, single digits on the shot clock, and he knocks one down from long range.
It's the first time they haven't really tried to force anything on the offensive end. They knew exactly the set they wanted to get. Got a lot of ball movement, and right at the end, little away screen for Chris Golding, and they executed it perfectly, and he knocked one down.
Great hands and hustle from Tucker as the Bullets try to find Krebs back door, and Melbourne United up and about. Pick and pop for Humphreys, short. And the air comes out of the ball for Melbourne. Here's Kadee. Gets the switch. He's got Humphreys. He finds Froling underneath. And he's got the Crow Barlow in his back. Fade away. Short.
Barlow's done that well in his whole career. Just using his strength as the pass from Ratan Mays. Humphreys, got away with a little travel there. Bench wanted it. Barlow.
Man, timeout Brisbane. Good couple of minutes from Melbourne to begin the fourth quarter. They got plenty of their home fans here in Ballarat and have made their way up the freeway in amongst the whole heap of traffic, just by the way. Trying to get up here, and they've put on a little bit of a better showing here to begin this fourth.
We spoke a bit about the absentees from the Bullets, the big ones, and we didn't really touch on Tyler Johnson, who, talking to a couple of the Bullets boys, I won't put them on notice, but I asked them how he looks so far, and I got a bit of Kevin Lish about him, Tyler Johnson, and I'm like, well, that's a pretty good comparison in terms of NBL, what we want to see, the lefty.
Okay, well, talk to me. Is it, Kevin Lish, of course, a two-time MVP, but also a Defensive Player of the Year. Are they talking about what he's doing at that end of the floor?
Well, I think it'd probably be the other end of the floor. But I want to talk a little bit about a key player not playing for Melbourne United. Now, he's not going to put up 22-point difference, but Shea Ili not being on the floor. When you talk about value to winning, we saw it last year. There's not too many in the league who become as valuable to what he does to lead to a team to win.
Come on, man. No Aaron Baines, no Nathan Sobey.
No, I said we spoke about them, but I'm talking about, I said we've got to talk about Melbourne United.
Okay.
But Shea Ili, in terms of Jason Kadee being that composed head on the floor and always just making the right play, Shea Ili does that without putting massive numbers up on his stat sheet. He's just that important. We saw it last year. Best sixth man, runner-up Defensive Player of the Year. So just to be able to have him out there where you need maybe momentum swing, you need someone to just set the tone and be solid. That's what he's done so well.
Noticeable difference defensively from Melbourne to begin this fourth quarter, and again out of that huddle as they try to make this score look respectable here down the stretch. Harry Froling, beautiful. Just took his time, spun his way to the rim.
He's been really good. From the opening tip, Harry Froling. I think the key word to take away from this, from what I've seen from the Bullets, is how composed they all look. Just playing to their roles, doing nothing flashy. It's been really solid. Dave Barlow.
Jeez, went for the Rupert Sapwell.
Well, the bank is definitely close. This late in Ballarat.
Look, Bordy gets himself to the free throw line. Bullets back out by 24 after that Froling make. He's had a really nice night. Harry Froling, you mentioned what he'd been doing for the Hobart Chargers in the NBL1 South, helping lead them to a championship. And he's been terrific tonight. He's got a equal team high 15, 8 points, 3 dimes.
First one's good.
As Porty knocks down that free throw.
Has been a better first 2 minutes here.
Second one is good as well. 2 points at the line.
Little touchdown pass. What a pass.
Oh, man. Harry Froling. Just a shade of Nikola Jokic there from Froling.
Well, that can't happen. I think Vickerman's got his hands on his head because that is off a made free throw. Get out. There's no one back. That was a great pass.
Just a little bit of eye contact from Froling and Kadee.
Jason Kadee just grabbing that left calf.
Jason Kadee at the line, 2 free throws to come.
It's been about 15 seconds of him just trying to work that out, and I would not be surprised at all if Jason Kadee heads to the bench soon if he's just feeling a little bit of something.
He's going to take his free throws.
Well, you get the points, absolutely. Why not? You've been terrific, but no point mucking around with the calf.
No, sir. I mucked around with a calf in pre-season and ended up snapping my Achilles.
So keep an eye on him. Hopefully it was just a little bit of cramp. Didn't call for the pickle juice.
Here's Golding. Oh, Mitchell cleans up Tucker off the ball. No whistle underneath. He's already got a flop warning, Tucker.
Well, I don't think that was a flop warning. I think that was a nice little hip check. Good pass.
Froling gets hooked Porty in the air. And no, don't tell me. Harry Froling with the English off the top of the backboard. Circus stuff from Froling.
Well, they're going to have a chat about it, but that's got to count. That's absolutely got to count. That's been the front of the backboard, and it is Harry Froling, who 2 years ago had one of the circus shots of the year behind the backboard up Nissan Arena. But that's one of those ones that he had a bit of a laugh about.
Well, it's all coming up Brisbane in Ballarat tonight. That was very fun from Froling. Barlow having a long conversation with the officials.
He got a little warning there, and I think that's the first time I've seen somebody get talked out of giving a technical. That looked like that was a strong whistle. That was a I'm walking to the bench. And I reckon he's talked him out of it. Well, Tucker, I can tell you what, we can see Tucker, one of those guys who's going to fill the stat sheet. He's hungry for those rebounds.
Drop-off pass, Hook Porty couldn't handle it, and the turnover results for Melbourne United. The frustration continues to build for Melbourne. Brisbane maintain their advantage here. Tucker getting up and in, forcing the turnover. Great defensive activity from the recently signed import.
I'm really impressed with what he's brought defensively as well, that energy. The activity, the hands are super quick, super strong.
There's a 25-point lead to Brisbane. They really have owned this game all night long. Tucker from 3, that's off. Barlow wins it back. There's Tucker again, playing for the foul, nothing doing. And the Bullets playing 5-on-4 down the other end. Turnover.
This is what we talk a little bit about in terms of understanding the NBL, and it's something that Tucker's going to have to learn. Is we saw in the first half, he's getting to the free throw line. He's probably getting fouled every single possession, but when you're getting that physicality, referees are going to understand, okay, you're strong enough to play through a lot of stuff. When are we going with the whistle? When are we not going with the whistle? And it's become a really big learning curve as he tees one up. That's no good. Good energy once again from Hook Porty.
Good strong work. Nicely done from Hook Porty as he got to his left hand. Mitchell, good awareness, finds Krebs wide open, and he drills it. The ball movement has been beautiful from Brisbane tonight.
It has been unbelievable. Nothing special about it, as we keep saying. Sound like a broken record. Just extra pass, extra movement. Who's in the best position is Tucker. Going to finally knock one down, and he gets that. They were giving it to him. Knocks his first one down. He's up to 20 points.
Froling kicks it out to Statman. He can't hit. Froling wins it back. He's had an enormous impact tonight, Harry Froling. Great pass from Kadee. Kick, Statman in the corner, and it's down. That's picture perfect execution from the Bullets.
That is unbelievable vision from Jason Kadee, who just saw that play involving one step ahead, because the pick and pop was there from Froling. He knew the defense would come across and cover that, so he threw it to the wing and gave the extra pass and knocked it down. Those are things that it's going to be a very, very pleasant film session for the Bullets when they break down this game.
Drops down 2 points.
Nice bucket from Hook Porty off the hand of Rattan Mays. Melbourne getting going a little offensively right now, but having a bit of trouble getting stops. 89 points for Brisbane.
It's going to be
midway through this fourth quarter.
United basketball, good hands from Dave Barlow. Forced the turnover. Here comes some substitutions from both teams. Hook Porty, Barlow, Tucker going to sit down for United. Froling, Kadee going to take a break. Probably done for the night. Exceptional. Kind of Krebs going to sit down as well.
Here's Rattan Mays. A little hesitation dribble. Gets the defense out of position. Classy stuff from Rattan Mays, and that's an and one finish at the rim.
Really nice move from Rattan Mays. Classy as well. As you said, really patient. Up and in, up and under. And these are the minutes that I'm going to be watching a little carefully, because I mentioned the opportunity for Caroline to maybe play at the 5. We talked about at halftime, Adelaide, you would think, well, DJ Bruin's going to enjoy Robert Frank sliding down to the 5, Cleveland at the 4, rolling out that McCarron, Detch, Randall, Cleveland Franks lineup at times. That's where you can potentially roll Caroline down to the 5 to match up alongside those smaller centres and get a bit more athletic. Maybe Rajon Tucker definitely has the strength to match up on anybody in the 4 spot as well. So a few things to play with. You obviously got the Twin Towers and Humphreys and Hook Porty.
Big thanks to the city of Ballarat.
Caroline, he's a big unit.
Thanks very much. Dr. X at the line.
There he is, Caroline, on cue, and one finish off the offensive board.
2 points.
Just as you sing his praises there a little bit, and talk about the impact he can have as an undersized 5-man, he flexes his muscles underneath.
He's been flexing a lot. That's one thing that's really stood out to me in my first look at Jordan Caroline, but that's exactly what he can bring. He's not afraid to throw his body around. He wants to be physical. He enjoys that challenge. So that's a little piece that maybe Vickman can use to throw him down in there.
Lockie Barker checks back in. Chris Golding takes a seat. It's a 19-point margin now. It's blew out to, was it beyond 30 there at one point?
30 plus, and that was with Jason Giddy just controlling the show.
Harry Froling, 32. But back, no, it had a 15-zip run at one point, the Bullets. It's back to 18 now.
It's been a better fourth quarter, no doubt about it, from Melbourne United. The damage well and truly already done. So they can look at this and compare where they went wrong in the first 3 quarters.
Great back cut from Statman. Good find from Mitchell. And again, the Bullets carve up Melbourne's defence and get an easy finish at the rim.
That's what we've seen all night long, and we keep highlighting and praising it, and rightly so. Just waiting for the breakdown. Everybody's moving. Caroline steps out for 3. That's no good, but nobody's running into each other. They're just playing so well off each other, setting the screens, backdoors, curls. And finally something breaks down. They just get wide open layups or wide open 3s. I mean, cut, copy, and paste right there. It's exactly what it is, the extra pass. But that only comes if everybody's willing to move at the same time.
Well, their execution has been a beautiful thing to watch. It's what James Duncan was speaking about last season. Barker, pull up, that's down. Sam, just talking about how much better they look at the offensive end when the ball moves. Stuck a little bit at times last season, especially in Lamar Patterson's hands. But this particular group tonight have moved the ball beautifully, played really unselfish basketball, and it resulted in a whole bunch of buckets.
And even that, Mitchell there, that little one dribble pull-up is probably, you'd look at the whole course of the game, you'd think, probably their one shot that they've taken that hasn't been wide open. I mean, he had a wide open 3, but wanted to get to what worked well for him. Speaking of which, that's what Ratan Mays does well. Ball on a string. Got to make him give the rock up, because he will just dance with it until he either gets somebody open or gets to his shot. Oh my.
Another beautiful back cut. What a dime from Gorjak Gak, finding Statman underneath.
Just head in his hands, because that was pretty well covered, but because they've got it all night, everybody's looking for it. That's the other part of this. Good defense there from Devondrick Walker, fighting over that handoff. Is everybody's just ready to get the ball at any point, because it's just the ball is flinging around the court.
Well, especially the way they've played off those elbow catches. Harry Froling in that first half, and Gorjak Gak out there, DJ Mitchell catching on the elbows. Little split action on the weak side, and they're just making great reads off those cuts. And the big guys finding open players underneath. Walker. He hits from long range.
Well, that's just a simple breakdown, and then they've raised the bat, helmets off. They're up to 100. Brisbane Bullets, but that's a sideline out of bounds where they don't even get through the actual screen. He flares off it. A breakdown to let him get wide open, knocks it down. That's going to be super frustrating for the likes of Dean Vickerman, who's ready to ring in the bench.
Walker's got 18 now, 4 triples on the night. What a great start for him after just joining the team a couple of days ago, and that's going to go Brisbane's way. It has been a fun night for the Bullets here in Ballarat thus far.
On the substitutions for the last couple of minutes here. Josh Duach into the game. And Leith Machar as well. And Campbell Blogg, young fella running around. That's Sandringham. Bringing into a few guys like Dave Barlow, who, speaking of player coaches, was player coach for the Sabres. Alongside Reece Carter for NBL1, but they're super high on this youngster. Plays a lot of confidence. Has the decision to go to college or maybe hang around. What better way to get prepared for that.
Buck, deep triple, that's down.
And that's on the scout as well. We know Rasmus Bark, we've seen he can knock down the three. Just going under those handoffs. He's going to step behind and shoot because why not? Everything else has worked out so well for him. That's vintage Brad Newley there going to his right hand downhill.
Newley with the keeper. It's a savvy pickup for the Bullets as a nominated replacement player, Rasmus Bark. No, he gets after it defensively. Got these issues with Sobey and that bone bruise right now, and that might have to nurse him through at times throughout this season, and having Bark ready to go is going to help. Ball moves beautifully again for Brisbane. Johns, a little happy feet. Newley takes it away.
1 minute left.
Right down the middle cylinder for Newley, and he can't finish off the glass. Walker, happy to eat some clock right here, up 26.
Well, you wouldn't have seen it there because we were watching down here, but Harry Froling just took all his tape off and has launched it a good 20-odd metres to the bin near the door, and there's nothing but net. So that is 100% sums up the night so far for the Bullets. As easy as that.
Great court vision from Uhuls. Inside, outside for Brisbane. Lual Ding with the pull-up jumper.
He's shown some signs tonight as well. Knocked down those 2 threes back-to-back to end the first half. But been super efficient. Also hanging around to get the oop as Duach no good there.
And the shot clock switched off. Rasmus Bark will dribble this one out. And what a terrific start to the NBL23 preseason this has been for the Brisbane Bullets. Making their way down. They've got some big names sitting out as they walk into Ballarat and they take care of business. It's a 28-point victory to Brisbane. It's Brisbane 105 over Melbourne United 77.
One of those games that when you go back to the film, Brisbane Bullets players will be super excited to see the breakdown because they were as solid as it comes. Unselfish, just so well drilled. The ball was moving, the players were moving. Anything they wanted to get, they just waited, so patient, and it was a beautiful game to watch from the Brisbane Bullets.
No Baines, no Sobey, no Johnson, no problems for Brisbane. Last season, the highest score they had for the entire year was 101. And they walk out to begin pre-season and put 105 on the board.
And again, it's very early. It's pre-season, so you never want to get too carried away, but you'd rather be feeling like that this early than perhaps how Melbourne United would be feeling giving up 105 themselves when they want to apply themselves on the defensive end. But right now, we have to talk how well the Bullets were. That's going to be the talk for until they match up again. They're going to be playing at Casey Stadium on Saturday night. See how Melbourne United bounce back. But exceptional job from every single player who hit the floor. James Duncan, what a game plan to be able to get them through their sets the way they did. Execute. That's why they won by so much.
For Melbourne, Rajan Tucker was the game-leading scorer with 20, 9 of 10 from the free throw line, and Caroline with 13, Hook 40 with 11, with the other guys in double digits. And for Brisbane, well, it was a basketball party. They led by 32 at one point. They had 45 points off the bench. They had 58 points in the paint. And they shot the ball at 60% on the ball game. 5 guys in double digits. Devondrick Walker leading the way with 18. Harry Froling had a night, 17, 9, and 4. Krebs had 12, 4, and 3 with a couple of steals. And Statman with 11. Kadee with 11, 3, and 5. So outstanding numbers there across the box score for the Bullets. And James Duncan, Greg Vanderjack, Peter Crawford, GM of basketball, Sam McKinnon out on the floor right now chatting about it. They'll be wrapped with the way they started pre-season.
So they should be in. I'll tell you what, Peter Crawford rolling the shorts and Ballarat at 8:44 at night. That is a bold strategy, Cotton, but it works for him. Whatever works. Devondrick Walker, I thought, was great just getting off the plane a few days ago. He was going to be questionable to even suit up, I think, once Johnson with the illness wasn't able to suit up. Devondre Walker stepped in and hasn't missed a beat.
We mentioned they'll rematch. They'll play again on Saturday night at Casey Stadium in Cranbourne. Get to that, Melbourne United fans, if you can, and get yourself ready for the upcoming season. Tickets for each and every Melbourne United home game are on sale now. Blockbuster games across the season. 7 family-friendly Sunday home games. There's something for everyone. Lock in your seat to see Melbourne United stars take the court at John Cain Arena via ticketek.com.au. And on that note, Pete, we're going to wrap things up here from Selkirk Stadium in Ballarat. Outstanding from the Bullets. Work to do, no doubt, for Melbourne United. But all in all, a fun night of pre-season hoops.
All in all, I'm excited to be back with you. And I'm excited for the season ahead. It's going to be an absolute banger, no pun intended. Can't wait to see Bainesy Yardie.
All right, get set for more from the NBL23 preseason on the NBL website, Facebook and YouTube pages, and get yourself ready for a big, big season ahead. But from Peter Hooley, myself, and the whole hard-working crew here at Ballarat, it's good night. Stay safe.